pores are open because the collagen, which is the tightening protein. So it's actually really easy to get rid of the scars. If you're just talking about
under eyes.
Okay, so under eyes are like my specialty. Okay. Dry skin is actually really easy to manage. If you start your anti-aging like in your 20s, the better. People with really dry and frizzy strands to condition before they shampoo.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really cool. You condition your hair. So then the last thing is you need a blood panel.
What's that?
Like a blood test.
Okay.
A lot of people in India actually are so nutritionally deficient, I can't even tell you. I'll check like your vitamin B12, I check your ferritin, which is an iron store.
Okay.
I check your iron, your total iron binding capacity, and your CBC, and your thyroid. These are the 6 biggies that I check.
So when does it become so acute that we need to visit a doctor to take care of our hair fall?
So you can't count every strand, but you can give like a guess. So when you have more than 100 strands a day, that's usually what we count. That means you're having something called like acute telogen effluvium, which is something that you can come to someone like me and we can guide you on how to handle it.
So not every time I brush, but in a day, if I have 100 strands following is when I need to see a doctor.
Yeah.
Wow.
Or if you feel like your hair fall is actually causing baldness. So some men and women, they'll get hair fall and then they'll actually have like patches where they don't have hair anymore.
Right.
You know, it may not even be from a significant amount of hair fall, can be from like less hairs, but you're still seeing baldness.
Right.
That means come to me right away because there's something that we have to fix as soon as possible so it doesn't get worse.
We have Nisha Negi who's asking how to deep condition my hair.
Okay, so Nisha, that's the same name as my mom, by the way. So Nisha, deep conditioning, you really need a good deep mask, alright? So not like a regular conditioner, look for a conditioning mask.
Okay.
It should have silicones, it should have oils, it should be full of nutrition basically.
Mask as in
yeah, like a product, like Kerastase has conditioning
Right.
masks, Moroccan Oil has conditioning masks, Kiehl's has conditioning
So all
masks.
of these brands that you're saying are good.
Yeah, these are
deep
all
conditioners.
good. And you should apply it for 10 to 20 minutes
Okay.
and then wash it out, alright? Don't like put it in for a minute,
Yeah.
don't put it in for 2 minutes, really 10, 20, 15
Wow.
minutes.
So apply it and just sit and read your magazine.
Yeah, exactly, in
And
your shower somehow.
Yeah. And how many times a week or a month we should do it?
Well, it depends on how frizzy your hair is. The more frizzy it is, the more often you can do it. You can do it like 2 times a week if you want. It's absolutely fine. It can't hurt you, it can only help you.
Okay.
And some home remedies, like my favorite, I love avocado for hair.
For hair?
It's so
Wow.
good. It has these like fats in them that are really great.
Okay.
You can mix avocado, you can mix pumpkin seed oil or sesame oil. I know pumpkin seed oil is really hard to find.
Yeah.
So sesame oil,
yeah.
avocado, and an egg.
Mix it together.
Mix it together, put it on your hair for an hour, wash it out. It's awesome. It is
Wow.
so good. You will shine like no other. And
Wow,
you can do that
I'm gonna
once
just
a
do
week.
that.
It's so good.
I'm gonna do that.
It's so good. I love avocado.
Great. Awesome. We have Mrs. Jen who's asking, is there any side effects if I use coffee before washing my hair?
So it's interesting.
Coffee. I mean, I've never heard of that. Anyhow, yeah.
Well, she's not wrong because the concept of using coffee is caffeine.
Okay.
Caffeine extract actually has been shown to increase hair growth.
Okay.
But coffee itself is very astringent, so it can actually dry out your hair a bit.
Right.
So if I were you, I would actually like get shampoos or conditioners that have caffeine extract in them. So like things like Nioxin, they're available at like affinity salons and online they're also available. They have really cool like caffeine extract, menthol, they have some really wonderful actives that help with hair fall that are biochemically shown to really improve.
So, using coffee side effect would be the dryness,
Yeah.
otherwise caffeine is a good thing to put on your hair.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what about the concept of having beer shampoos?
Beer shampoo is no problem, it's like a wash, right? Like it's acidic.
Okay.
So when you use an acidic compound on your hair, actually it shines more because it closes your cuticle.
Oh, alright.
So that's fine, it's
That's
a wash, but it's not like a long-term solution.
Okay. Okay, so we're talking of hair fall. I have someone who is talking about excessive hair on her body.
Oh.
So,
the Punjabi problem.
Yeah. The Punjabi girl problem.
That's what I've heard. Ever
Yeah.
since I moved here, everyone's like, Punjabis have more hair. I'm like, it's so true.
Yeah, so she would like to know how can she take care of this excessive hair on her body.
Sweetie, I'm gonna tell it to you straight. Laser hair removal.
Okay.
It's the godsend for all Punjabi girls.
So nothing that we can do at home or buy some products to over the counter to cure the hair, excessive hair. Nothing would work.
There's nothing.
So
There is no cure for excessive hair except for laser hair removal.
Okay.
And the latest machines are amazing. They're so safe. There's no pain. There's like barely any risk. It's so comfortable.
Right.
There's no reason why you should feel nervous about doing it.
Is this concept correct when you say the more you wax, the lesser your hair becomes over the period of time? Does that make any sense?
So there's no truth to that theory because there's no journal, there's no study that has ever said the more I wax, the less hair I'll have. Although I will say that like anecdotally, which means that some people say that, oh, I waxed so my hair became a little like finer.
Right.
Maybe that's true,
Okay.
but it can't overall reduce the amount of hair. And don't forget, like as you age, actually your hormones settle more, so your
So
hair,
anyways, it's gonna get reduced.
yeah.
Makes sense. So we have a question from Parul Kapoor. She would like to know how to get rid of postnatal stretch marks.
Okay. Hi, Carol. Stretch marks, unfortunately, are genetic. Okay, if you're gonna get them, you're gonna get them. There is no cream that will get rid of your stretch marks. I'm sorry for all those
my
that have
God.
bought bio oil and Strivectin and have spent tons and tons of money doing creams and tried like 50 of them. It's not gonna work. Okay.
But then why do people say that, I used XYZ cream and the stretch marks have lightened or decreased or something?
That's such a good question. Actually, because your stretch marks, when you get them, they're initially purplish and red. And as they age, they actually become white. So they naturally will become lighter. They of course won't go away.
So it's not the cream that making it go light.
Exactly, it's not the
natural
cream.
process.
It's just life.
So, but then does it make sense to use products while you are pregnant so that the stretch marks don't come? Does that help?
Well, it's interesting that you asked that. Like, why do stretch marks happen? It's because your skin stretches and the elasticity isn't enough, right?
Okay.
So it's like a rubber band. Like, if you stretch too much, it breaks. It's the same thing like your skin. So it's just connective tissue that's broken.
Okay.
The more moist your skin is, the more elastic it is. So the more you moisturize, the risk of stretch marks will reduce some. Of course, not all, because you have a baseline genetic ability of your skin to stretch.
Right.
But you can improve the risk. It's just not a cure-all.
So we have Jean Jen. She's asking how to get rid of tanning. She's saying I've tried a lot but nothing helps, and how to get rid of dark circles naturally.
Okay. Tanning. So tanning, I'm sure you may have tried lots of things, lots of home remedies, lots of creams. Unfortunately, tanning could be tanning. It could also be pigmentation. There's lots of different causes of pigmentation. And there's lots of different diseases that are under pigmentation, which I think is really like out of the purview of
what
this
we talked
chat.
about. Yeah.
But tanning can be removed really easily with I do diamond microdermabrasion here. I give stronger creams. But the most important thing is to prevent tanning. So,
Prevention is better than cure.
Exactly. So sunblock, sweetie. You need to put this much sunblock
On your
face.
Really?
Yes, 3 tablespoons. And that's good for your face. And you have to reapply every 4 hours.
That's a lot of amount.
It's amazing for your skin.
Wow. Okay. if that's how it's gonna work, then
That's how you gotta do it.
Okay. So, but do you have some kind of home remedy to take that tanning off?
I like Uptons. I think since I moved to India, I think Uptons are like magic. They're my favorite thing ever. With besan and yogurt and a little bit of walnut powder almost, just a touch. You just apply it sort of as a pack and then you gently scrub it off.
Okay.
So I like that because it's so fine and it's not like a physical scrub that you rub off. It's almost it's very gentle.
Okay. So
once a week. Yeah.
Once a week is good. So what about dark armpits then?
Dark armpits. All right. So dark armpits are so common in India. It's so interesting actually.
But how do you get it? So this was actually a good question that somebody had sent. I forgot. And what's the remedy for natural remedy for under eyes, dark under eyes?
Okay, so under eyes are like my specialty. Okay.
Oh, okay.
The under eyes are caused by so many different problems. Some are genetic. It's also lack of sleep, tiredness. A lot of people have deep set eyes, so it's like a shadow. You know, when you have a shadow, it's going to look darker.
Right.
Then there's pigmentation. You know, there's so many different reasons for under eye circles. But there's like naturally, if you just want to look a little brighter and fresher, it's not going to 100% cure them. But I really like taking cold tea bags. Like put the tea bags in the fridge and then put it on your eyes for 10 minutes.
Okay.
You actually see your eyes will actually look brighter.
So dip the tea bag. So dip the tea bag in the water and then keep it in the fridge. Is what you're saying?
Just a regular tea bag. It has caffeine in it. Just
so
freeze them.
We don't need to wet them.
No.
Okay. For how long we need to keep them?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. So that would really help us.
Yeah, to look brighter. Don't freeze them. Sorry. Cool them.
Okay. So what about dark armpits then?
Dark armpits. All right. So dark armpits are so common in India. It's so interesting actually.
But how do you get it? So this was actually a good question that somebody had sent. I forgot her name. But how do dark armpits happen? I mean, what's the cause for it?
Well, there's a condition called acanthosis nigricans, which I know is really technical sounding.
I mean, it just went over my head. But
that's one cause. Another thing is sometimes friction. Too much friction. You know, we sweat so much in this city, in this country.
Yeah.
So the more
even
you
the
sweat,
city, I would say.
yeah, exactly. The more you sweat, the more friction, and friction can cause its own pigmentation. Then hormonal reasons. So there's a lot of different reasons for dark underarms. I think that, you know, antiperspirants, deodorants, they're perfectly safe. You can use them. They'll help you.
So dark underarms are nothing to do with excessive waxing or shaving your armpits?
It can. It's part of friction.
Oh, okay. So if you shave it or if your friction increases and that causes the darkness.
Exactly.
Okay. So what prevention did you say?
Stop with you want to reduce sweat, you want to reduce friction, you want to keep the area dry.
Okay.
If you shave a lot or wax a lot, you know, try and avoid that if you can.
Okay. But over the period of time, if the friction decreases, so the color will lighten.
It can lighten for sure. If the friction decreases, then you can have some lightening.
Okay.
Not 100% per se, but
Makes sense. I think I've asked her too many questions. She's been running in and out. She has appointments and patients waiting. But thank you so much for your time, Kiran.
I had so much fun.
I know. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your questions. I hope Kiran answered all your questions. She answered quite a lot of my questions. But I'm now gonna be her patient and ask her more questions separately. But I hope you guys like this video. If yes, then please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Subscription is very important, like I said in all my videos before. Okay guys, I'll see you next time once again with another cool video. Until then, lots of love. Bye guys.
Bye.